In this lesson, we'll be practicing the skill of declunking. Sometimes when we read, we come across a clunk. Clunks are words we either can't read or can't understand, or both. It's very annoying and stops the flow of our reading. There are a few things we can do to figure it out though. But first, you need to make sure your book doesn't have too many clunks. In school, we use the Fivefinger Rule to choose books from the library. Pick up the book and read the first page. Every time you come across a word you don't know, raise one finger. If you have only one difficult word or none, that's too easy. Put it back. 2 or 3 words that make you stop is just right. If it's 4, you might need a little help. 5 difficult words or more is too hard. You should look for a different book. Sometimes you can read something that's a bit more challenging if you have a strong interest in it. At the moment, biographies about sports stars written for primary school children are very popular. A few years ago, it was books about Minecraft. Children are able to read something that looks a little bit hard because they have so much background knowledge to help them. Figure out what words mean by hearing and seeing them being used. This is actually how you learned most of the words you know, by hearing people use them. In fact, if you are somebody who speaks a different language at home to the one you use in school, you probably have more practice declunking unfamiliar words than most people. Have a look at the picture. The Irish word airfort might be new to some of you, and it's completely unknown to people who visit Ireland from abroad, but when it's written on a road sign with a picture of a plane, it's clear this is telling us where the airport is, and you instantly realise airfort means airport. In a similar way, if we are stuck on a word in a book, we can look for clues. Instead of stopping at a word, skip it. Finish the rest of the sentence and think, what word would make sense there? If you're not sure, backtrack by reading the sentence before it. Just like with predictions, illustrations can give very important clues too. With all these hints and some of the sounds of the word, very often you can solve that mystery. Let's read this sentence. The Mustang. Hold on, I can sound this word out, but I don't know what it means. Some of you will know that there's a horse called a Mustang and a type of car called a Mustang. So, which is it? Let's finish the sentence. The Mustang had a flat tire. Okay, that answers that. We're talking about a car. I looked at it for a minute before I spotted a very large... let's just say I can't sound out this word. I reread the sentence and the one before it. The Mustang had a flat tire. I looked at it for a minute before I spotted a... It starts with P and the tire is flat. I see. The word must be puncture. A good way to practice this skill is by reading texts with some of the words deleted and filling in the blanks. These are called close procedures and they're very worthwhile. You might be doing some with your schoolwork already. Just in case, I'll leave the link to where I got these in the description. Another good way to work out what the word means is to peel back the word. Have a look and see if any of the parts in the word look familiar. Like re in restart, a prefix is a piece added to the start of a word to change its meaning. There is at least one notable exception to this. A suffix is a piece added to the end of a word, changing its meaning. Like the ing in thinking, we also look at the root of the word to see where the meaning started. For example, immature is the opposite of mature. Let's do some examples. This word has a prefix of pre, which means before, and the root is histor, as in history. So prehistoric means before history. If you know anyone who plays hockey, you might have heard about the interprovincial games. The prefix inter means between, and provincial comes from the root word province. So it's a game between provinces like Munster against Leinster. Disassemble. The root word assemble means to put together, and dis means to undo or do the opposite. So disassemble means to take something apart. Next up we have inflatable. If something has the word able at the end of a word, well, for a start we pronounce it able, which means you are able to do something with it. The same is true for the suffix ible, as in edible. Inflate means to fill with air, so we have inflatable, able to be filled with air. That's it for the instruction video. Stay with me while I'm going to read a book for you and we can practice reading around the word to figure out the meaning and peeling back the word to figure it out. Slán go fóill.